Hey everyone, welcome in. My name is Angie and you're on my YouTube channel 60 and a Senior, where we talk about books on this channel for the most part. And today we're going to be choosing my TBR list, the books that I want to read during the month of July. Usually I make my TBR list by choosing prompts that are written on these little pieces of paper in this jar, or I use this reader roulette game where they also have prompts written on the cards. This month, I'm doing something a little different. I am participating in a readathon with two other YouTube subscribers, Chloe at Always Booked and Becca at Becca Books and Bujo. And they have done this for several years, and last year was the first time I had participated in it. But they sponsor a readathon called Deck of TBRathon. And it's a contest basically. You are going to choose your reading list by pulling a card from a regular deck of playing cards, and based on the card that you draw, you use a chart that they have come up with different prompts. And what makes this interesting is that each card has 3 different prompts, and you get to choose the level of difficulty. So if it's an easy prompt, you get 1 point. If it's a middle of the road prompt, you get 3 points. And if it's a difficult prompt, you get 5 points. Well, what are the points for? The points, when you finish a book and you log it and your number of points is recorded for your team. So they have 4 teams, and those are based on the 4 suits in the deck of cards. And I chose to join the diamond team. I mean, why not? Every woman loves diamonds. So anyway, let's get started, and then I'll explain a little bit more as we go. So you're going to use a regular deck of cards, no jokers. And let me make sure I got them all out. Yes, I did. So we're going to shuffle them a couple times, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second, how it works. All right, I shuffled it 2 times. I've cut the cards. I'm going to fan them out. I can't see them, but you can. I'm going to go to this side and pull 1 first, and I'm about to drop the whole deck. Okay, that is a 6. I wasn't sure if it was a 6 or 9. So this is their graphic, and I will put this graphic up in the description box of this video in case you want to play along with us. So if it's a 6, there are 3 prompts that Becca came up with based on her favorite things. So for 1 point is genre. You either read a romance or a historical fiction, because those are Becca's 2 favorite genres. If you choose something from that category, you get 1 point. Her middle of the road is yellow cover. So if you choose a book that has a yellow cover, you get 3 points. And 5 points is something related to music. So I guess that could be that the book is about music, or it has a musician in it, or it has music on the cover. That one is going to be more difficult. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to see what my choices are from my shelf of unread books, and we'll come right back and let you know which one I chose. Okay, I'm back. I really could not find anything that would be about music, and without reading the back of every cover of every book, it's kind of hard to determine if there's a musician as a character. And I don't really remember buying a book that was specifically about a musician. So I'm going to go with the middle of the road prompt, which is a yellow cover. And I have 2. I have the Chicken Sisters, and I have Olive Kitteridge. So let's see what each one is about. Olive Kitteridge, at times stern, at other times patient, at times perceptive, at other times in sad denial. Olive Kitteridge, a retired school teacher, deplores the changes in her little town of Crosby, Maine, and in the world at large. But she doesn't always recognize the changes in those around her. A lounge musician haunted by a past romance. Oh my goodness. Here we go. This one's about a musician, or it has a musician as a character in it. A former student who has lost the will to live, Olive's own adult child who feels tyrannized by her irrational sensitivities, and her husband Henry, who finds his loyalty to his marriage both a blessing and a curse. Wow. Okay, so without even reading this one, or even reading the description on this one, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to choose this one. And to be honest with you, it kind of covers all three categories. It covers music. It has a yellow cover, and I think it's either a historical romance, not sure, historical fiction or a little romance. I think it would cover all three, but I only get to score one set of points, and that would be 5 points because it has a musician in it. So, plus. Okay, let's draw our second card. So we're going to go back and shuffle the cards again. And you know what? I don't remember if I took the jokers out of this or not. Oh well, if we draw a joker, we'll just draw again. All right, we're going to go to this side this time. Let's pick this one. An 8. All right, let's see what 8 is. 8 is book in a series. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have but one set of series. Well, no, I have 2. I have, as an adult, I am finally reading the Harry Potter books. I just read one of those month before last, so I am not going to be reading another Harry Potter book. And the only other series that I have on my TBR list is this Nora Roberts series. It's a dystopian fantasy series. So what the prompt says is, if you start a series, you get 1 point. If you continue a series, you get 3 points. And if you complete a series, you get 5 points. I hate reading books in a series, but I did purchase all 3 of these as a set from one of my friends on Whatnot, and because she raved about them. And I do love a good dystopian. If I can get it out, I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I just had a mishap on the bookshelf. But this is the series. It's by Nora Roberts. It is Chronicles of the One. This is book 1. It's called Year 1. And then, just so you'll know, I'm only going to be reading one of these this month. The second book is Of Blood and Bone. And the third book is The Rise of Magics. So, to start that series, I would be reading Year 1. And let me just tell you a little bit about what it is. It began on New Year's Eve. The sickness came on suddenly and spread quickly. The fear spread even faster. Within weeks, everything people counted on began to fail them. The electrical grid sputtered, law and government collapsed, and more than half of the world's population was decimated. So it's about something very similar to the pandemic. It's about a virus, I believe, that hits the world, and this is the first book in the series. So this is what I'll be reading. It will gain me 1 point. Year 1 by Nora Roberts. Let me put this away, and then I'll come right back and we'll choose another card. Okay, let's draw card number 3. I'm going to shuffle the deck twice. Cut the deck. Now we've gone to the left side, to the right side. Now we're going to go and pick one from the middle. And what is that? It is a 9. So let's see what a 9 is. 9 is on the cover. And this is a patriotic themed prompt. So if I choose a book that has red, white, or blue on the cover, I get 1 point. If I choose a book that has stars or stripes on the cover, I get 3 points. And if I choose a book that has a flag on the cover, I get 5 points. Okay everyone, I found a book. It is Purple State by Dana Perino. I had to look hard, and I looked my bookshelf over twice because I had books that had red covers, blue covers, white covers. I had books that had stars on it. I really wanted to get the 5-point prompt, which was it had to have a flag on it. Look way back here, so that you have a girl, you have a guy in a truck and his dog. But if you look way back here, there's a house and it's flying an American flag. So I actually had this book on my TBR list last month and did not get to it. So I'm really excited to read it. This is a romantic comedy which was written by Dana Perino. Dana is a Fox News anchor and co-host of The Five and America's Newsroom. And she's written other books, but this is her first romantic comedy. And it's a really cute story. It's about a woman who is a liberal who moves to Cedar Falls, Wisconsin, and falls in love with a man that is a Republican. So red versus blue, you mingle them and it makes purple. So Purple State. So that's going on the list. We're gonna draw another card to see what our next prompt is. Shuffle it once, twice, cut the deck. Okay, we're gonna come over here and draw this one. Is a 3. Let's see what a 3 is. 3 prompts is centered around my birthday. For 1 point, I can read a book that is set in my birthplace. For 3 points, I can read a book that is set in my birth month. That one will be a little bit more difficult. Or for 5 points, I can read a book that was published in my birth year. Now, I was born in 1965, so I do not think that I have any books on my shelf that were published in 1965. So I'm going to have to eliminate that. I know I have some books that were set in my birthplace, which is the state of North Carolina, but I don't know if I have any books that are set or mention the month of April. So let me go look and we'll come right back. Okay, I am putting my own interpretation of this birthday prompt. I am going to go with the middle of the road prompt, which is birth month, and birth month is April. So my interpretation of that is I found a book that has a character named April. So this book is called The Burning Side. This is actually a book of the month. I just got it. Yeah, it was May's book of the month. So this one's a fairly recent publication. It says, when April and Leo's house burns in the middle of the night, they escape with their 2 young children and the quiet knowledge that the fire is not the only thing threatening their family. They retreat to April's childhood home in Dallas, where her spirited parents and siblings provide both comfort and complications. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. This was written by Sarah Damoff. So that is going to satisfy the prompt for number 3, and that is for 3 points for April. All right, let's move on. I'm going to draw one more card. I'm going to shuffle, cut. We're going to go back to the middle this time. A 5. Well, at least I've drawn different numbers and not the same prompt. Number 5 is Chloe's prompts. So for 1 point, it's genre related. You can read a women's fiction or a thriller because those are Chloe's 2 favorite genres. For 3 points, you can read something that is sports related, or for 5 points, you can read a book with a 4-word title. So let me see what my options are. We'll come right back. Okay, I actually found several choices that have 4 words in the title. You Are Not Alone, which is a suspense thriller. I dropped the book, hold on. It's co-written by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekinen. I have read a couple of other books written by this joint effort, which were pretty good. So that's a strong possibility. When the Jessamine Grows by Donna Everhart. This is a historical fiction book set in the, is it Civil War? Yes, Civil War in North Carolina. So that is one of the reasons that I bought it and put it on my TBR list, because I'm a Carolina girl. And speaking of Carolina girl, That Last Carolina Girl is also a book that is set in North Carolina. This is set in 1935, however. How to Walk Away by Catherine Center. She is always a very clean romantic comedy type book. Wish You Were Here by Jodi Picoult. And I think this is kind of a contemporary women's fiction. And Good Joy, Bad Joy, which was another recent release by Book of the Month in May. And this is a contemporary fiction as well. So already on my list, I have Olive Kitteridge, which I think this is, I don't know if it would be classified as historical fiction or not. I already have a romantic comedy. I have another contemporary fiction, The Burning Side, and I have this dystopian. Whoops, I just threw the card out of it. So I am gonna put this one back. I'm gonna put the romantic comedy back. Then I've got these historical fictions or this mystery thriller. I'm gonna go with this mystery thriller because I don't have a mystery thriller on my list, and I like to balance my genre list. So let me put everything away. We'll come back and wrap it up. Okay, so let's wrap it up. The very last book I chose was You Are Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekinen. This is a mystery suspense thriller. I chose this book because I drew a 5 card and I'm using the prompt 4-word title, and that will get me 5 points. So 5 points for that one. Olive Kitteridge by Elizabeth Strout. Okay, this was prompt number 6. And this we discovered as I chose it initially because it had yellow cover, but we discovered that it has a musician as a character, so that will get me another 5 points, so 5 and 5. Purple State, I drew prompt the 9 card, and that one also will get me 5 points because it has the flag on it, so 5, 10, 15. The Burning Side, I drew a 3 card, and this will get me 3 points because it is my birth month, and there was a character named April in this. And then the final one was I drew an 8, and it was a book in a series, and I will get 1 point for this because this will be starting a series. So 5, 10, 15, 18, I'll have a total of 19 points for the Diamond team in the deck of TBRathon. If you would like to play along with us, please check the links in the description, and I will have Chloe's and her YouTube video of introducing the game, and then the links to the graphics that have the prompts on them. All right, as always, thanks for watching, guys, and you have a great day.